Okay, in today's class, we'll see about the some other components of Sphinx and how those components will be used inside a container and how we can create a particular item to design any GUI by using the Sphinx. So previous class we saw the importance of component and containers. So again, once again, let me revise that. So that is so here if you observe the hierarchy of Sphinx class, the components and containers are very much important. Now the container itself, container is also a component. So the main components are mainly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 components out there, and containers are 4 containers. So these are the top level containers, and the importance of top level containers are those those will not be present in some other container. This is the main first container or top level container. These containers may contains the lightweight containers as well as components based on the application, based on the GUI what we are going to design. So those things will be having those things in that container. Okay. So next, first thing is we saw first container, applet container. We saw there. So this container will be used to create a web application type of GUI. So that applet, that GUI will be visible to the clients who are present in somewhere. So for distributed communication or clients or communication, the applets will be used. So next one is next component is label component, or and this can be this label can be created in any container. So here in our example, we use frame container. So to design the label container, we have to use JLabel class, and it is used to create that container. And for that label, you can give either text or icon. You can give either text or picture for that label. A label ki manam edana ivachu. And another important thing is for any container, for any component, you can assign the values. You can assign the those values for that icon through the constructor or without the constructor. Two ways are there. You can assign the values for that component. You can assign the values for that component by using the constructor. That is one way. Another way is by without using constructor, directly we can assign the values by using set and get methods. So you have to understand this point. For every component, you can use set and get methods to give the properties for, to give the attributes for that component. One way is by using constructor, another way is by using this set and get methods. Now in this following program, so you can observe here we are without using constructor, we assign all the things. So in this example, just to go through the line by line. We created one label example class. Inside the main method only, we are going to do all the actions. Or if at all you are having a separate class, then you can call those constructor inside that class, and through the object we can assign all these things to that constructor. Otherwise, we can use set and get. See, you can see set like this, set like this. You can set the values. You can set. Okay, you can observe all the set like this. Now, whatever the program, first step, what I told is, first we have to create one container. Through that container only, it is able to access, it is able to create the component. So this is for container. So here we are creating a container. So here, which type of container we are creating? 4 types of top level containers are there. Among those, which container we are using here? Okay. You can text which type of container we are using. That container is frame container. Okay, after that, next step, second step in what Sphinx program is, we have to create. So creating the component here. So creating component, second step. So after creating the component, next step is we have to add that component to that. So here we are adding into containers plane. Containers or that area. That will add shadow. So these three are very important. Next, fourth step is we have to create an object in main method, or inside the main method itself, we did all the actions. So these are the important basic things. In those basic things, next that values is our wish. Whatever the value, colors, values, all those things. Containers, we can give the attributes. We can give the properties for containers as well as we can give the properties for components. Then what? In any program, any Swing program, you can observe these two things only: containers and components. And how you are dealing with those containers and components, that is the important. If you want to assign many things, you can assign. Or you can assign the values. Those are all optional. That's based on the problem. If you want to give color, you can give. If you want to set the that size, you can give. That's based on your requirement. You can assign all those things. But the important things is we must require on container. We in that container we have to create the components and we have to add those components to container. So these are all the important mandatory actions. Apart from these three, remaining all are optional. That is based on those things you can see. We created a label and we created that label with boundaries. I mean boundaries values. Next, we created another label L2 also. So another component. So for that also, these two things, I mean, have been added in this container area. Next, this container is the size of that F represent the container. So that F is the container, L1, L2 are the component. So with respect to container, we are performing some actions, but these are all options. We can give size, we can give layout, we can give colors also, all those things. Like that, they can perform actions. Now what we'll do is I'll try to execute this label programming. So label example. So let me create an example. So let me create a class. So that label example. And let me share the screen. You can observe everything. So now I hope my ID is visible. So let me create one new class. So I'll give the name. So I created class. So let me copy this code. See. Okay, just here we created one container with two labels, and that labels information has been displayed there. So let me execute it. Okay, are you seeing output? Is it visible? Just type in chat box. Is it visible or not? So two labels we created in a container, and the first those two labels are first label and second label like that. So are you seeing it? Is it visible? Type yes or no. Okay, good, good. So that is about the label. So here for this label, it's apart from other than this text, we can also give images also by using set here. We can use that those image and those pictures may you can see here pictures also. So now next thing is we'll see next to text field. So that is we can create the text field and we can view the you can create one area on text field and we can view we can write whatever text we want. So this is also another type of component and it can be done by using the JText field class, and it has been derived JText component from that one. So and another thing I told that whatever the component you are using, you can assign all the values or you can assign all the properties for that component, but either by using constructor or as well as set get methods. So now the just to go through the program. So here without constructor we created that before creating the component. First we have to create the frame container. So this is the frame container. Next we have to create the component. So we created the component text area component, and we assigned the all the various properties for that boundaries also. Like next with respect to frame also we have given some properties. And third one is we added the component inside the content. So this so these are the things. Now let me just show let me explain that text area. Yeah, this one. So this is the code and this is the program. So just to go to the output. See here text area has been displayed here. So you can type whatever the text you want. So here you can do anything. So that is the text area about that text area, creating the text area component. Any doubt you can raise your hand or you can type in chat box. Any doubt regarding the text area or label. So next thing is buttons. So these are also very important components. You might have observed while filling any application or any GUI, buttons will play an important role. So mainly there are four types of buttons. That is J buttons, J toggle buttons, checkbox, and radio buttons. So these are the four types of buttons. Okay. So all these buttons are the subclasses of abstract button. So abstract button is one main class is there. From that class, all these buttons have been derived. Next, all these and extends the J component class also. That is also one another important super class. So actually, this abstract button contains various methods. So all those methods will provide the necessary actions for that with respect to that button, those buttons. So that is I told that one important thing in swings, all the actions will be performed in the form of events. So everything will be considered as events. So in next chapter, next year you will see we'll study about event handling. There you will get full information about that event. So meanwhile, just know that think that the swings, the event, I mean all the actions will be considered as events. So now, with respect to buttons, either if you have pressed that button or if you click something, all those things will be considered as events. So for every for those events, the abstract button class provides the various methods to handle those events, to perform those events, all those things. And so another important method is rollover icon. I mean, that is also one of actually we can will. So for all those buttons, we can specify, we can define those I mean buttons with icons also. That icon may be either photo, I mean picture as well as text message also. So those are like that. So you can in any GUI or any online application, you might have observed like that the buttons with the photos, clicks. For example, Facebook button. If you click that Facebook button, then something will be happening. Some event will be done. You will get a Facebook page or something, or some message, something like that. So buttons. So those will be considered with icons, either text thing or as well as picture also. Now, with respect to that icons and that buttons, so the methods. If you want to use that button as the icon, some there is a with respect to some icon, you can use all these methods. Okay. Next, if you want to use as a string that button with respect to string, then you can use these methods: get a string, set string methods. Wherever the whatever the concept, simply you should understand one concept, that is without constructor, if you want to assign it values or if you want to give the properties for that component, you can use set and get methods. So that set and get method, set and get names, those will be preceded to the with the respective name. So for example, this is the icon. This method is for icon purpose. If you want to disable that, so set disable icon like that name, that method name you can identify. So I mean all the methods will be preceded with set and get methods, get names. Okay. Now I mean these now we'll see the first type of button. So that is the J button. So normal button. So so if you click that button, you'll get some event will be occurred, and that you'll get some output like. So that button may be having either icon or string or both. Like that, that button will be defined. This now, if you want to give values for those buttons, you can use the constructors as I told before. So this constructor, without constructor, this third point, I mean fourth point, set and get method, you can assign the text as well as you can assign the icon also. Next, when a user click that button or when a user performed anything about on that button, then what happens? Some event must be done. So that can be identified by using action event thing, that can be passed through the action performed method. So this action, so all these methods will discuss we'll discuss again in unit 5, where even I mean event handling chapter. So just to remember these names here. Next one is if whatever the action that would be performed out after clicking that button, so that can be done by using this method, set action command that method. But if you want to assign, if you want to give the value, next get action count. These methods will offer to assign and to display the information whenever you click, whenever a user clicks that button. How if at all in our GUI, if we are having more number of buttons, and those can be managed by using the action command system. So action command system, that those whatever the action that those actions will be identified, will be performed, will be executed with the respective button. How that would be done is by using this action command. Okay? So those will determine the respective button. Which button I mean which button it is being pressed, so that that button, that the action, that the respective action will be performed. That mapping will be done. That mapping will be taken care by same application action event, the action command concept. So that will identify the respective button and that will map it to the respective result, respective action. Now just go through this program. Here also same. First what we did is we created one container, that is the frame container. Inside that container we are going to have one button. Button. Here we use the text field also. So text field is for whenever that action button is pressed, in the text field, some text must be displayed. Like that, that is the event. So here how it is going to done is, this is one component and this is another component. Two components are there, button component as well as text field component. So we created those two. Next, we are performing, we are assigning the properties to button. Next we are action listener. This is the event handling mechanism, event handling concept. So whenever if we press that button, what should be done is, in the text field this message must be printed. So we kept that thing inside the action listener method. So that action listener method is for the purpose. Okay. So whenever user clicks that button, that message will be displayed on the text field, another component. Next, after creating the component as well as container, next thing is that container, that methods, those components must be added to the containers. So in 15th line you can observe. So that is being done here. So next is so these are the some properties with respect to container. If is a container, we perform some action with respect to contents. Okay, now I'll try to execute that this program. So button program. So just go to it. So button example. So hope this button example is visible to you. See here, just created on frame container. Inside that frame container, two components are there. One component is text field component, another one is button component. And whenever a button event, that event thing is action. So if you press a button, then that button will perform some action, some event. So that will be done. That will be done by using the action listener method. So what it performs is, in the text will in another component, a text will be displayed. So that is the main our objective of this program. So now I'll try to execute this. See, are you seeing the screen? Is it visible? Output screen is visible. Yes or no? Just type in text box, chart box. So can you the container names also? So this container name is button example, but container name is so frame container. Frame container group can assign